Hey, Insider, we've got a special guest joining us today who's recently graduated from our flagship course, LMA, and she'll be sharing with us in terms of her journey on board, how she found the whole experience, and everything in between. So, just want to say it's great to see you here. Let's just firstly start with an introductory question, which is what's your name, where you're currently based, and what do you currently do?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tim, for the opportunity to be here. My name is Evelyn Rubongoya. I am based in Virginia, which is Southwest Virginia in USA. And my paid job, day job, is a nurse manager at a local hospital.
Okay. So we're going to start off just by essentially rewinding time, Evelyn. Before you had come across LMA, do you mind just quickly sharing with us like a glimpse of what was you experiencing in your life that was showing up as problems? How was it making you feel? How was it causing issues and things in between?
Thank you very much. Before I joined LMA, I was in a state of stagnation, if I may use that word. I had I've been working in my current job for almost almost 10 years,
Mm.
and my nursing career for about 20 years about. And in my personal life, I'm married and I have two children. They're grown children, and they are independent and living out of town. They live out of here. My relationships with my friends and my colleagues was good relationship, but I was always a leader but a follower. You see what I
Mm.
mean? I was
Yeah.
always a follower, always somebody has to be the initiator, tell me what to do. My husband may be the main decision maker in the home. Okay, this is what we are going to do, this is what's going to, and I let that happen, but then at a later time, like just before I found you, I met you, I was thinking I should be doing more, I should be doing better, I should be doing so many other things, meaning that I felt that I was living below my potential. And that made me feel, it made me feel sad. It made me feel inept.
Right. So was there some form of trigger or like an event that happened that made you feel that way? As in you really began to realize I'm not living up to my potential? Did something happen?
What happened is that I have a milestone birthday coming up
Mm.
this year, and it's a big milestone, 60.
Mm.
And I started looking at my career where most of my friends, I have three friends, they were telling me, oh, you know what? We started together and I'm retiring. I'm going to do this and this. And they have a big list of to do and a big list of what they already have set up to do. And they were very clear and very excited about it. And I could not say the same. So
Right.
that was one of the triggers. The second trigger was my son recently got married. One of my children recently got married,
Mm.
and they are talking about starting a home, moving into a house, moving into. I could not religiously effectively guide them because I'm in this stuck position. That's what I felt. So that made me
Okay.
feel again inept, and it made me feel bad when my friends are talking about all these glamorous plans they were planning to do and excited about leaving the job we have been working together for almost 15, 20 years. And I look back at my life, just a snapshot. I'm looking and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I have accomplished this much, but then I have this little to show for it.
Right.
So that's what triggered. Those are those 2 points. Yes.
I think it's amazing how life sometimes works that way and has a way of waking us up because it's
Absolutely.
almost like a coincidence, huh? So, do you recall when you came across our work for the first time? Do you remember when that happened and how that happened?
I came across you on YouTube. I
Okay.
was, in fact, it was right after Thanksgiving this past year,
Hmm.
and my son, the youngest son, had come to visit and had left, and I just felt an emptiness again.
Mm,
And so he's leaving, which he's doing wonderful. He's doing a great job. He's happy, excited about his job. And that was all great and nice. So I looked back again, a self-reflection of, okay, what am I going to do? What do I need to do? And another reflection was that, okay, my friends are retiring and going into these exciting possibilities. A snapshot of saying, okay, what if my job ended?
mm,
And of course, I'm on YouTube doing a prayer thing and also self-help, self-help projects and plans and what to do. So that's where I found your commercial. It just popped up, and you were offering a 2 hour, I think it was a 3 hour revelation of what you have as a big plan.
mm.
So that intrigued me. And I said, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. So I tuned
Oh,
in, and there was an invitation to attend the session, the seminar, and that was very, very inspiring. And that's how I came across you. And I had never met you. I had never seen any of your work before.
mm. So you were sat on YouTube, came across our advert, and you attended our free masterclass, which was all to do with life reinvention. So when you were presented a chance to join the LMA course, Evelyn, if you were to be honest with all of us, what were, would you say, the biggest doubts you had or fears you had about joining this course? And what ended up putting that fear to rest for you? Because of course you ended up joining. What ended up happening?
So two fears. I want to say three fears. Number one, I had seen and watched some self-help projects
Mm,
online, and some of the reviews on others, not yours. Some of the reviews were saying, "Oh, it's a money-making gimmick," or "It's not going to deliver," or "This is what they do." So basically, they were half and half on
mm,
most of what I had viewed, I had watched on YouTube and on the reviews. So that was number one, it's skepticism. Oh, maybe it's going to work, or maybe it's not going to work. So that was number one. Number two was the financial investment. And at that time, I looked at it as a lot of money. That's how I
mm,
looked at it. And I had never invested in myself. And I want to use that word. I had never invested in myself that much money
mm.
at the given one time.
Okay.
Then the third worry was, am I going to go through with it? And because my life is full, at least was, I would say,
Yeah.
because of work and home and my responsibilities on the job. I have a team of staff members that I have to be responsible for. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to have the time
Mm,
to put in this work after investing this much money. So those were my three worries. What triggered the change
yeah.
was when you started talking after for that seminar. During the seminar, you were talking. I could feel that you were talking from your heart. I could feel that I could connect and relate to your experiences and when you are growing up in high school and where you have been. So you gave us a description and depiction of the journey. You said, this is where I have been, this is what I did, and this is how much time I put in, and this is where I am. And you also talked about the work that you do. So you did not too much talk about the money, and you did not talk about too much about yourself, but you talked about how you want to help others.
Mm,
So all those together changed my mind, and then the connotation that I was not going to waste money, I was going to invest in myself.
mm,
So the two questions I asked: if I don't invest in myself, who am I going to invest in this much money other than my children, obviously? And I said to myself, if not now, then when?
mm.
So because of the reasons for joining and the reasons of the timing, I just jumped right in.
Okay. And you end up getting involved with LMA, of course, after that. So I suppose the question is, initially, first impression when you got involved with LMA course, what made you feel the happiest about that decision? What made you feel happy?
After I joined is actually when I went to YouTube again, to the internet to look you up.
Mm,
And also, I listened to some of the reviews from your graduates, from the LMA graduates.
mm,
And I read through the concepts that you present and the lessons that you teach. and I was intrigued. One interview, actually, one of the alums or the graduates, I think, was Joseph Yeager. It interested me and intrigued me, his story, saying that he was an accomplished analyst or financial analyst or something. He
Mm.
was so accomplished and he had these many accolades. At the same time, when he joined LMA, he said that he grew exponentially, personally and business wise. So I was excited about that because I said, if this gentleman who has had all this experience prior to LMA says that he grew this much after joining LMA, I'm going to get something out of there. And yes, I did not know exactly how much I would get out of it. But at that time, I said that, yes, I'm excited. I'm going to do this. And that's why I got excited and I went right in.
Okay. And am I
Mm.
right in saying last time we spoke, you were saying it was your manager or somebody above you had recognized the changes in you
Yes.
and they spoke with you. And
Yes.
what ended up happening after that?
Yeah, you have a good memory. You have a good memory. Good for you. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Yes, recently my boss, my manager, gave me a compliment because at first I used to be in the back of the room during the meeting, during discussions. And recently, she said she has seen changes in me. She said, I see something in you. She said, something has changed. What has changed? And my old self or my past self came out saying, what did I do? What is wrong? What do you mean? And she said, no, 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 no. It is something good. It is something good. She said, you are expressing yourself much better. You are
Mm.
forthright. You are giving opinions and suggestions, and everything you are talking about is sound. And she actually referenced the example. She said, it looks like you have been a can sitting at the side of the table, and somebody just removed the lid off of the can, and now we can see you blossoming. But
Wow,
you've been there all this time. So that was a huge compliment. She said, I see great changes in you. So she was excited, and that makes me very, very happy.
that's incredible. And I recall you saying that she even offered, she even offered to, was it sponsor you or something like that?
Yes, 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 I did. So when she talked about that, I had to admit to her, said, I've been working with this group and I've been doing this program. And I told her about Success Insiders and I
Mm.
told her about LMA. And she was very, very intrigued. She said, really? How did you find this? What tell me what you've been doing. So
Mm.
I told her a little bit about. She said, this is wonderful, this is incredible. She said, Evelyn, I'm going to sponsor your program. The money you put in, the investment that you paid initially, I'm going to pay you for that. So yes, and she's a woman of her word. I
Wow.
was very, very inspired and humbled by that. So I just wanted to give you um, thanks and appreciation for the work you have done. In me, my
Mm.
past self was just this low. I remember you in the first class, you said to give ourselves a number
Mm.
of, I remember, I think it was life accomplishment number, if I may use that
Yeah.
term. And if I figured all the elements of my life, and all I could come up with either a 3 or 4.
Mm.
And you said, now think about the age or the years you've been on this world. And I'm thinking about, I'm like, ouch, my goodness, 50 years, what? So she said, you said that, wouldn't you consider doing something different from what you've been doing in order to go from here to here? So basically, you said, in order to go from point A to point B, or
Yeah.
from where you are to another level, you need to do something different. So
Right.
that resonated with me completely. So yes, that's why I invested the time, and that's why I continue to believe in LMA.
Love it. So it's almost like in that moment, something clicked in you and you allowed a
Yes,
different version of you to show up. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, that
Love
was a
it.
big deal for me. Yes.
So I suppose everybody watching this must be wondering, I mean, what did you experience that allowed you to, be able to, as you say, kind of open up the can? What do you remember what module you found the most beneficial in terms of your transformation and what did it really do for you?
Thank you. I'm going to say one was initially one,
Mm.
and then two for sure.
Okay, week one, week two. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Because when you say we have limiting beliefs,
Mm,
and the limiting beliefs, when we went through those exercises and challenges, I realized that I had been telling myself a story, and I would tell that story to anybody who would listen, which was a limiting belief. Yes, I'm a victim. Yes, I'm a victim because of this, and this person or these circumstances of my past is to blame, and you have to agree with me. So everybody who would listen, I would tell that story. So I was accustomed to that story. Then in that module, you said we need to dispel the limiting beliefs. And then in module two, you said we need to self love. So by me dispelling the limiting beliefs and by me doing the mirror exercises and writing down why I am more than enough. So those affirmations, then the
mm,
mirror exercise and dispelling the notion that somebody is responsible for my life, bad or good. I need to give power to somebody. So dispelling all those limiting beliefs, those actually cemented my initial basis and transformation within LMA.
okay,
So it was the self-love, really.
nice. So it really allowed you to identify the limiting beliefs and be able to let go of these limiting
Yes,
beliefs. Uh,
absolutely. Thank
I suppose I got to ask you because you was checking out videos on YouTube, you're saying. So what makes LMA different from checking out YouTube videos and doing other things you're doing? What makes it different?
I want to say, first and foremost, it's you and your message, you and your team. And the difference, main difference is that you say knowledge is for the mind, experiences for life, or the exercise, the action are for the experiences we need actually to transform.
Mm,
The YouTube videos and the books and the CDs and the audios were for my mind, and some of those I could recite and I could quote, one person to another. However, with LMA, we get to exercise, we get to experience, and then the community. We get to work with others, and I love the community because although we have people who are, I'm just going to I know of somebody on the community who is a physician. So we have physicians, we have engineers, we have homemakers, we have all different walks of life. But when we get together in that community, we are one, we are a family, we are on the same level. I respect that and I appreciate that because nobody imposes on me to say, oh, Evelyn, you are just this, or you are just started. So no, everybody is supportive, everybody is very uplifting, and that really, really, really made me stronger because it is an accepting community and it is very encouraging. So those two, number one, the exercises to say, yeah, this is what we learned in module one, maybe on the live on Sunday, but then during the week, do one, two, three, for those exercises, and even the exercise during the live. So the community, the exercises, the doing it, the
mm,
mirror exercises. Before LMA, I did not put anything on YouTube. I did not on Facebook. I was actually afraid and shy, if I may, my past self to, and again, limiting beliefs to get on camera to interview with somebody as important as you. That would freak me out completely,
mm.
completely. So those
Very
are the
humbled.
that
Very
are
humbled.
different. Oh yes, yes, yes,
Somebody
yes,
as important as me. I'm very humbled
yes.
to hear that. um, so I suppose we're almost at the end now. So I wanted to know, in terms of, you've now gone through this 6-week transformative journey with us, Evelyn. So what benefits have you experienced in your life other than your career? What sort of changes have you seen overall as a result of going through LMA?
The thinking. One one of the tenets, one of the lessons you teach
Mm,
is change your questions and change your life. And then another part of it is change your thinking and change your behavior. So you said something about either results, either reasons or results.
mm,
So I don't give excuses anymore. I
nice.
don't give excuses. Yeah. And I decided, yes, I need to take responsibility. Whatever it is, I have to take responsibility,
Mm.
good or bad. Number one. Number two, I look at results. I look at results and I just want to go by the results. I don't want to tell somebody, oh, an early morning wake up person when they see me strolling in the office at 10 every day. So the results speak louder. The results speak louder than what I'm telling somebody. And number two, the thinking. I remember when you said something about when when I think about something negative in the morning, my whole day is going to be negative. It's going to be negative. So every morning, the question that I ask is, oh, how am I going to get through this dreadful day? I don't want to ask that anymore. My question is, what can I do to make my day successful and make all the others around me productive? So
Mm.
the thinking and the questions I'm asking myself have changed.
Love it. Love it.
Completely.
True
Yeah.
action taken now.
Amen.
Yeah, love it. I suppose the final question is going to be, since it wasn't too long ago when you were also being experiencing this, what would you say to somebody who's thinking of joining LMA right now, but they're kind of sat on the fence, kind of trying to decide? Having now gone through this journey, what advice would you give to somebody who's sitting on the fence of joining LMA right now?
For anybody who is sitting on the fence, you are thinking, is this the right thing? Is this the right program for me? Is this a time? The time is now. The time is now. Tim said at one time during the lessons that I think it was a Chinese proverb, if I may. He said the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now.
Mm,
So now is the time. You need to change your life. You need to transform. Maybe not for you, but for your loved ones. You have to do it now. And another very wise alarm of LMS said that these concepts and these lessons are very profound and very deep. And some people are going to learn them and master them with one season. I'm joining up for the next season and I'm joining up for SMA because you have to revise, rehearse. If I've been doing the behaviors and the actions in the last several years, it's gonna take a few more seasons of LMA to master these concepts. However, if you want to change from where you are to where you want to be, to where you need to be, join now, join the team, join the program. You are going to be amazed, and your future self is going to thank you.